in my old job, sometimes we would be facing really miserable situations, things that we were gonna have to do. Maybe we had to go on a dive, a long dive, and the water was freezing cold, or we had to go on a long patrol through really steep terrain and it was hot. Or maybe we had to get our boats through the surf zone when there was giant waves. And invariably in those situations, someone in the platoon would say in a low voice, well, this is gonna suck. And then you know what we do? We do it anyways. That's right. Sometimes things are gonna suck. And you know what you do? You do them anyways.
We don't have two people. And I'm not saying you're crazy. We have the easy voice, which is that 20% telling yourself that I'm easy at 90% of my full potential, maybe 100% at that 20%. That's that voice that we all love. That's that very comfortable voice that's that mommy holding you saying it's gonna be okay. That voice got me to 297 pounds. When I got in the military and I started gaining this weight a lot, my standard breakfast was 8 cinnamon rolls, like basically, I think 6 to 8 scrambled eggs, half a pound of bacon, Fruity Pebbles, Lucky Charms, whatever it may be. That was my standard breakfast. So
that was your way of getting away from the pain.
That's right.
That was your vice.
That was my vice.
Now, for some people, it's alcohol or drugs or sex or shopping. For you, it was food.
It was food and also being comfortable. Whatever I wanted, I did. And that's where I started seeing myself get further and further away from my true self. And your true self is found, honestly, in that very uncomfortable zone. I'm helping you figure out your equation. Because it's different. My equation is different from your equation. What's gonna make you tick? What's gonna make you go the distance? What's gonna make you go to that spot in hell and say, I love this spot? Because once you figure out the equation in any math problem, you no longer fail, man. You got it figured out.
Sometimes you get overwhelmed. There's just too many things going on and you start to feel like you're getting beat, like you're losing the battle. And when that happens to me, what I like to do is I like to go on the hardcore offense. So I just call it a sprint. I will sprint hard. I'll take the things that I have to get done for work and I will just pile them up and I will work 2 or 3, 12, 16, 18-hour days to get caught up. It's a lot better for me to suffer hard for 3 days and grind than to suffer the continual burden that's weighing on your back for months on end. Don't let that happen. If you get a little bit behind and you need to get caught up, hit the turbo button, go hard for 3 or 4 days, get yourself where you need to be.
We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is, it builds no mental toughness, it builds no mental hardening, it builds nothing. You have to do something that sucks every day. Because why? Once you overcome the suck, now you're powerful. You've overcome yourself already, so now you're ready to battle.
Freedom part is pretty easy for everyone to understand. I think that everybody wants freedom in all the various aspects of their life. Whether it's financial freedom, those are the 2 examples I bring up all the time, are financial freedom. Of course, everyone wants financial freedom. Everyone wants to have more free time. Those are 2 really easy examples to understand. And if you want to have financial freedom, well, then how are you going to get there? The answer is you have to have financial discipline. And same thing with more free time. If you want to have more free time, then you have to have a more disciplined time management schedule. And you have to have discipline in your life to say no to the things that aren't actually moving you towards whatever goals you have.
This other voice that we walk very far away from is the voice saying, hey man, you ain't doing shit. So we try to get this voice out of our head completely. And we live over here in this land. So what you have to do first is turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that aren't nice. That it's in our head saying, you know what, man, dude, you're not doing shit. You're not and it's not putting yourself down.
So I think getting up early, I think doing some kind of exercise every day, I don't care what it is. You just have to do something. You have to do something physical. That's scientifically proven with not only bro science, but also real science, that that waking up early or that doing physical exercise every day, it tunes your mind, it puts more oxygen in your blood, in your brain. It is absolutely makes you think more clearly. So waking up early, working out every day, if you start with those two kind of cornerstones, and then the other thing is, figure out what you're gonna do during the day. Don't go to bed without a plan of how you're gonna handle the next day.
The permanent result comes from you I say it all the time, you have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your fucking brain, so when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. You may forget it for a second, but you can go back in the cookie jar, I call it. It's something that we've all endured. I call it the cookie jar, and we often forget how hard we are, but you gotta reflect back. Take a couple seconds to reflect. I've been through this, I've been through that. And then remind yourself, I'm a bad motherfucker. And then you can get through that shit. But if you don't believe it, you haven't endured shit, you're just blowing smoke, man.
You know when you are guilty of wasting time and laying in bed and you're being lazy. You know it. Whether that was 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, you know it. And the other thing that we do is, if you want to wake up early in the morning, go to bed earlier. Well, that's real simple to say, but it's hard to do. It's hard to do, number one, when you're looking at your phone. It's hard to do when you're staring at your computer screen. It's hard to do when you're watching TV. Those things are meant, they're designed to make you keep looking at them. And so you do. So what you need to do is turn those things off and try and go to bed. Now, the first night, you're gonna have a hard time going to sleep. What you do is the next morning, you wake up early anyways. That first night, you only got 5 hours worth of sleep, and now you're tired throughout the day. Good. Because then when you get to bed that night, you will turn off that computer. You'll be able to go to bed earlier like you wanted to. So you have to start the cycle of waking up early by waking up early.
But you have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you got to open them up. You got to open up and fight that fucking demon. Get in there, talk to that motherfucker and say, what's up? And we all like to take this 4-lane highway. The easy highway. It has fucking signs, it has restaurants. We all love that 4-lane highway. We always step over the shovel. And all I did was I picked up that fucking shovel, and that shovel, I made my own path. And you may have big boulders and shit. They may be getting 200 miles up the road faster than you. But going through this path of life, this journey over here that you make yourself, that's incredibly difficult. What comes out the other end of that motherfucker is some glorious shit that you can't even explain to people. And we're afraid. Bottom line is, most of us, even the people who have all these theories and shit, it's easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. I wasn't made to do that. And yeah, some of us can't be LeBron fucking James. But I'll tell you right now, man, we can do a lot of shit when it comes to this pure on guts and willpower and getting through shit. We have a lot more. You could be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis, when that thing is saying, man, I'm 43, I've done so much. You start to become civilized.